So I don't know if you can tell, but there's a dove at the top of this structure, kind of like a Mobius strip. And oh, what does that signal? Hmm, I don't know. Let's find out. So today we are going to talk about loops. Loops and what are actually loops? The use of loops with while and the use of loops with for. Alright, so that should be simple enough, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and open Atom. And right now I have a sample of the loops with for and while. Let's go ahead and comment this like this. Okay, so the for loop, what it does is when you give it condition, being this one, um, it says for every iteration instance in which x is less than the value of 10, well then do this. Whatever I put that you are going to have x, the value of x, and but this can be much longer, and there will be much longer loops. But right now we're going to keep it simple, and let's just go ahead and explain the parts of the loop. I'm sorry. So right now this part is an initializer. It tells you where it's going to start. It's usually 0, but it can also be 1 and not equal to 7, for example. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it simple. Int x equal to 0. So this is the initializer. Then we have a column separating the second part of the for loop, which is the condition, which we already talked about. X is smaller than 10. And then it's the last part, which it's a guarantee that it will stop looping, because if I didn't have this, it would basically be an infinite loop. And x++, as we may or may not already know, is equal to x is equal to x plus 1. Those two things are the same. And what that tells me is that for every x smaller than 10, it will print the value of x, and it will increase x by 1 every time. So it's like if I had it right here. Anyway, and okay, so now that we know what a loop is and what for does, the structure of for, we're gonna have to know what this little piece of code does. So with what I already explained, we know that we are going to print the values of x as long as x is smaller than 10. So, and incremented it once every step. So what the loop is going to do is going to check every time starting at 0 when x is smaller than 10, and it's going to print those values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 until it gets to 10, and it will not print 10 because for that we will need to put x is equal smaller or equal than 10 to 10, and we're not doing that for demonstration purposes. And let's go ahead and save this one and compile it right here. Voila, we have it right there. In a set, notice that I ended the line, so that's what it does. It prints every time the elements of basically the series. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, but now using the for loops. Uncomment this and uncomment that. And basically the while loop does exactly the same as the for loop. It's just kind of like a stripped down version of the for loop. With the while loop, we just have a condition, the same as if this was an if while is not true. don't do that. But well, it only checks for a condition x is smaller than 10. But it must also have an initializer, but it does not go inside the parentheses. X is equal to 0. And then what this tells us is, while x is smaller than 10, again, then we are going to do the same thing. We are going to print the values of x. And where's the x plus plus from the for one? Well, we gotta have it at the end. Remember the bit when I did that and I put it at the end instead of over here? Well, that's basically, we are just saying that while x is smaller than 10, we are going to print all of the values in that, say, array, although it's not an array, that will come later, then incremented by 1 every time and stop when it is equal to 10, because then the condition is no longer met. And knowing this, let's go ahead and save it right there. I saved it, so you don't say there's any funny business. And then the plus plus master, let's go ahead and run it. It does the exact same thing. So that's the basics of while and for loops. There are many applications, as you can imagine. One of my favorites being this one. It's an awesome piece of coding because it has nested conditionals. Sorry, not conditionals, nested loops. And it is pretty awesome. It's kind of more complicated, and you can go ahead and run it. Let's go ahead and explain this. This is a loop which starts at 1, and it has a condition of I being smaller or equal than n and incremented. What we know, what we understood, and then it has another set of loops with an initializer. And what is it going to do? Well, the only thing it's going to do is, for the secondary loop, or actually the main one, but the one that's inside the first, it will print t, and for the other one it will print a line. So what basically what it's going to do is, this t will be incremented every time, and so will the lines, so that we have a bit of a pyramid. So let's go ahead and compile this one just for demonstration purposes again and run it. Okay, so we're gonna build an escalator. Write the number of t's we want in the middle, so the center part, and say we want 7. Oh, our loop worked! It's perfect, it's amazing. And you could do this with while loops, but actually it would be quite harder because nested while loops are a pain, and I'm not gonna teach this or show this, I'd rather say, in this video. So those are the basics of looping with while and for. I hope you understood something, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!